First of all, just talk a little bit about the transition process here, where your head's at. I know you just got back from your vacation here and you're getting ready to start your new job. Just talk to me a little bit about the transition process, first of all.
So the transition process is going to take place, through the acting city manager, Jim Pia. So my understanding is it's probably going to be placed in an interim chief in place, obviously to keep the department going while they do a full search for a new chief. We also just went through a testing process for an assistant chief, and an assistant chief is going to be selected because also you got to remember the AC Martinez, assistant chief Martinez, retired about a week ago. So the department is missing a chief and an assistant chief, but I have some strong commanders, so the department is going to be just fine.
And for you, what are these last few days like? What's going through your head right now?
Bittersweet, honestly. Obviously, I'm excited and I'm very thankful for the opportunity that I've been given by East Bay Regional Park District. However, everybody knows how much I love this community. This was the place I was going to retire from. I love serving Salinas. I love my officers, my professional staff. I think we have accomplished a lot together. Just our crime rates speak for themselves, our clearance rates, the amount of technology that we have introduced. So obviously you think about all this, and I had some great ideas for 2024. Well, what I think they were great ideas, but something that I really wanted to go. I'm really excited about our community outreach program that we're rolling out, our juvenile intervention program that we're going to be introducing. So all those things were going to be part of the new things we're going to do to serve the community. And now, these things are going to change. So now I'm going to have to adjust to a new community to serve.
And I know how much you like this community. I've seen that just in my short time here watching you. What do you want to say to the community here as you transition over to your new role?
I want to say thank you. I truly want to say thank you for to the community, because they've welcomed me with open arms when I became the chief. They've been great support, and together, the community, the police department, working hard together, we have made some great changes for the city of Salinas. It's truly, in my opinion, it's becoming a destination place where people can come here, enjoy themselves, enjoy the downtown, the businesses on the east side, shopping, and do so safely. Yeah, do we still have violence in the city? Surely, we do, like any other city, but thanks to the community, and every time we had something major happen, the community was there to support us. They would call us, give us information, and we saw the results. So as a chief, every time I went out in the community, I was always welcome everywhere. And that's huge. So truly I want to say thank you to the community, to the faith-based organizations that supported me, and the community as a whole that worked with me and believed in what I was doing. And there is nothing more rewarding as a chief to be able to be out there and be part of the community. I never felt, everybody that knows me, they know that I'm not title driven, so the title chief really doesn't mean anything. What means to me is that the community saw me as Roberto, as a member of the community, and that was very important to me. And thank you to the community for doing what they did for us as a police department.
And you made connections in this community and relationships in this community. Talk about some of the strongest relationships, some of the things you're going to take away and always remember yourself from this community.
So there is a lot of things I'm going to take from the community. Just the hardworking people that make up this community, the dedication to their dream, how they follow their dreams. I could definitely relate to this community because, just like a lot of the people that live here, I'm an immigrant myself. So I know the struggles that they went through, and I keep reminding people, say, I worked in the field when I came here from Italy. I was working in grape fields, so I know how hard it is to work in the fields, but all of them have this great dream, and they're working very hard for it, and that's what I'm taking with me, is the dedication, the hard work, that the work just doesn't stop, and I got to continue giving 100% because that's what we're geared to do. We just don't quit. And I take with me the friendships that I make, just people looking at you in the eyes, being honest with you, and appreciating getting the same thing from you. I'm not a politician. Everybody knows I'm not a politician. So I say what I got to say. I would always be honest with people. I would not lie to them. And I think they saw it. They saw it truly for who I was. They appreciated that, and that's what I'm going to take with me, the respect that I've earned and the respect that they've earned from me, because truly love this community. It's a fantastic community.
In your time here, you talked about it a little bit briefly, talking about some of the technology, getting better, and so on and so forth. What do you think are a couple of wins under your leadership here at Salinas PD?
Well, one of the wins, and it's hard for me to say they're my wins because they're not. It's my staff that made it happen. So my officers, my professional staff, my detectives, they're the one day in and day out, go out there and make it happen. But together, I say, we definitely have brought our crimes down. Our violent crime is down. Yes, we have had some recent murders, but overall our violent crimes are down. Property crimes are actually, unfortunately, going up somewhat, but we're able to clear cases. Last year, we were in the upper 90s of homicides that we cleared, which is unheard of. There is only one agency in the United States that has 100% clearance, and the only difference between them and us is that they're allowed to use facial recognition, which we don't have, and I'm not advocating for it. But that's the difference. So that means our detectives worked very hard at solving the crimes, but the way they solved them was through the community. The community is the one that provides us leads to work on. So those are some of the wins that I take with me. The fact that I actually had a lady that moved here from Sacramento. She used to live here, and then she moved to Sacramento for business. She now retired, came back to Salinas. And I remember running into her. I didn't know this lady from Adam, but she talked to me. She said, Chief, it's the first time that I've been able to go out at night and feel safe. What a huge compliment in the city of Salinas to hear somebody tell you that. And that's just the beginning. We haven't accomplished anything. We have a long way to go, but we're on the right path. Some of the other wins is just the interactions with their faith-based organizations. Even our homeless coalition, the way we've been able to help people. Those are huge wins. I mean, I've always said that homelessness, it's not a police problem. It's a humanitarian problem. So we're just one component to it. And seeing that we've been able to help people, get them off the street, and not just we, Salinas Police Department, we as a community, those are huge wins, absolutely huge wins.
That's great. Moving forward, what do you think some of the challenges, we've talked about staffing, obviously, as being one of the biggest challenges, recruiting, bringing people on and retaining people. What are some of the other challenges that the police department's going to face moving forward?
Well, the retention part. So that's one of my biggest challenges right now, and it's something that I'm hoping that the new chief can come up with different ideas that I couldn't come up with to hire more officers, but also retain the officers we have. I don't keep it a secret. We're not competitive. So when I talk to officers about coming to Salinas, they tell me that we're not competitive. So they look at it and say, okay, I'm going to come to Salinas. We know that it's a busy city. So I'm going to be very busy, but yet I'm going to make less money than people in other jurisdictions next to us are going to make. And not that it's all about money, but you have to be valued for the work that you do. And we have a top-notch organizations. Our cops are phenomenal. They're not even good. They're phenomenal. But yet we're not recognizing them for it in the form of when they get their paycheck, they look at it and goes, hey, it's bizarre that I make less than a guy down the street that maybe responds to 1 or 2 calls a day. Other officers, and I'm glad they don't risk their life as much as our officers in Salinas do. Of course they do. Every police officer in the United States risk their lives every day for their community. We, because of the large community that we serve, close to 200,000 people, the chances of getting injured are much higher. And we have a lot of officers that now are out on a long-term injuries. And what's frustrating for me and the challenge that I face, and I think it's a challenge that the department is going to continue to face, I went to the community already once to say, hey, I'm going to have to reduce the calls for service that I'm going to respond to because I don't have the staffing to do it with. And now I was getting ready to do a second phase in which we're going to respond to even lesser calls for service because I just don't have the staffing. And that's not the way I want to serve my community. My community got to feel confident that anytime you call 911, we will come, period. I don't care what it is. It could be the silliest of calls or the most egregious call. we will be there for you. And Salinas will be there for you. Just it's going to take a while to get there. We're getting ready to go to shift change, and I don't have enough cops to staff all the shifts that we have. I just simply don't have them. So
what do you have to do? Overtime or?
So we
just
have mandatory overtime,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's frustrating for me. I come to work and I see my officers that they're tired. They're still dedicated because they still go out there and they make it happen. They give everything they got. They're tired. They don't get to spend time with their families. Some of my officers don't get to go to their, daughters or sons' first event, major event, whether it's a sports event or some recitals. They don't get to go because we have mandatory overtime, because we have to staff the shifts. That has to stop. My cops cannot continue to do what they're doing, because what's going to happen is they continue to be tired, they're going to get hurt, they're going to get injured, and that's not fair to ask of them or their families. So we have to get competitive. That's, if there is one thing I can ask of my council is like, hey, bring our officers up to par with other agencies. We need to be competitive so that we can attract more officers and start cutting down the amount of overtime that all of our officers are mandated to work. And not just my officers, but also the professional staff. Some of the professional staff, they're getting paid so little compared to other agencies that truly I don't know why they stay here. I'm very, very thankful that they stay here, but that's how dedicated they are to this community. So those are the challenges that the new administration is going to have to face, retaining the people that you have. These are great cops. Anywhere they go, and we've lost a lot of officers to other agencies, they go to other agencies and they become stars because other agencies know what our officers endure.
I hear the frustration in your voice.
Yeah.
And, what's your message as you leave here for the city council?
Take care of your police department. The council has always supported me. So every time I went before council, they approved what I asked for. And it's always been technology. But I also been talking to them about, hey, we got to take care of our officers. We can't afford to lose any more officers. And as a matter of fact, we had another officer that resigned 2 days ago. And that's just going to continue to go on until we as a city and the council takes care of the police department.
And it sounds like you're just saying they're flat out not doing enough right now.
I don't know. I know they are in negotiations with the police department, and I'm not part of those negotiations. Righteously so, the chief should not be involved in that. I just truly hope that we don't lose any more officers, because I don't want my community to pay the price for not having enough officers.
Did your relationship with the city council impact your decision here to change jobs, to move to the East Bay?
Not necessarily my relationship with them, because like I said, they've always been supportive of me. So I can't say they haven't supported me. They have approved what I asked for. Granted, it was all stuff that myself and my staff went out and got grants for. So a lot of the stuff that I purchased was with federal money and state money, which I'm glad. I'm really glad for my federal partners, my state partners. But the decision for me to leave is because I'm becoming ineffective, in the sense of when I have to look at my community in the face and tell them, we will not be able to come when you call. I can't take that. I honestly, I've been struggling from day one when I made that announcement at City Council, and that's what keeps me up at night. What keeps me up at night is getting a phone call that one of my officers was hurt because we didn't have enough officers on the street. That keeps me up at night. And now for me to get ready to look at these people that work so hard to build what they have, and then somebody breaks into their homes or breaks into their cars and steal what's truly their possession, and for me to tell them, I'm sorry, I won't be able to send an officer to help you. That's unacceptable. I just can't take it anymore. So I work 60 plus hours weekly. I go out on patrol with my officers. I take cases because I love doing that. But there has to be some relief, not for me. I'm not talking about me at all. I love what I'm doing. I work 100 hours a week if it would make a difference. It's for my officers. I can't take that. You see in their eyes how tired they are, and their families is paying the price for it, and it's like enough is enough. So obviously I don't have the solutions. I try different things, Some of them worked, some of them didn't work. But at this point, it's like, okay, hopefully another chief can reinvigorate the department with great ideas and bring more people in.
How difficult of a decision was this for you?
Extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. It wasn't anything that was, oh, this is great. Yeah, what a great opportunity. And again, I'm very thankful and I'm excited for the new department or the new community I'm going to be serving. But it wasn't anything that I couldn't go home and, just couldn't wait to get home and tell my wife and share with my wife, hey, honey, it's great. Everybody knows, how much I love the police department, Salinas Police Department. I love this community, and it just breaks my heart. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Thank you. Let's change our focus now a little bit here, and I may know the answer to this one, but what was the most difficult during your tenure here? What was the most difficult thing you had to face?
February 2022, February 25th, 2023, when we lost JD. Absolutely, it's one of those things that you cannot prepare for. You just simply cannot prepare for as a chief. You hope it never happens. When you become a police officer, and I tell you, at least for me, when I became a police officer, I was issued all the stuff that you see on me. Obviously, was issued to me, and one of the tools that I was issued was a gun. And I always pray to God that I never had to use the gun. I say, if I have to save my life, save somebody else's life, I will. But I hope to God I never have to use it. And then, fast forward 26 years now that I've been a police officer, become a chief. Never in my wildest dreams I thought that I would lose an officer. I was always concerned about my officers getting hurt, maybe in a fight, in a pursuit, and that's what I was always concerned about, but never in the back of my mind thought to myself that I would lose a police officer. And obviously when the phone call came, that was the most devastating phone call that I could receive in my life. And so that was the hardest moment as a police chief.
I remember seeing you in the courtroom that day when the verdict came down, and then the sentencing as well. When the sentencing was read, when the verdict was read, what went through your mind?
I said it from day one when we made the arrest, and my officers were phenomenal. We made an arrest rather quickly. They diligently did the investigation, put a great case together. And thank you to the DA Paccioni for the case, the way it was presented to the jury. I didn't have any doubts in my mind that he was going to be found guilty. And the only thing that I thought about was, and as I said from day one, I'm not looking for revenge. I just want justice to be served. And when I heard that he was found guilty and, the sentencing and everything else, I said, okay, justice has been served. Yeah, it's not going to bring JD back, definitely, but at least our justice system shows that it does work.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the challenges the new chief is going to face. I guess your message for the new chief. I know that the search is still ongoing. It's going to take some time to figure out who is going to step in. We don't even know right now who is going to step in interim-wise, do we? Right.
We don't know.
Right. So I guess we talked about the challenges, but what would your message be for the next person who takes on the role of Salinas Police Chief?
I would say, Chief, whomever you are, please take care of this department. Got great police officers, great professional staff. Whomever the person is going to walk into a top-notch organization. This is not a department that needs to be fixed, that needs to be rebuilt or anything else like that. It just needs to be moved to the next level. We bring in the people in, additional officers, additional resources. This department is going to be unstoppable. You're definitely going to see some fantastic results. And the partnership that we built with the federal agencies and with the other departments, to which I'm thankful to all of them for helping us out, we see the results. So I would suggest, if I can make a suggestion to a new chief, would say, hey, follow on the same path and continue serving the community and be part of the community, because that's what the community needs. That's what they deserve. In my opinion, this community deserves a chief that's out there in the community, not that sits behind this desk and just makes decisions. And if that's what the new chief wants to do, I am now in a position to judge a new chief. Somebody above him or above her would be in charge of making those decisions. But that would suggestion that I would give somebody who would take over this role: continue being out there. The community appreciates it, and it builds a stronger relationship between community and the police department.
We'll wrap it up on a positive note. What was the best moment, the best memory you had as your time as the Salinas police chief? Something you'll never forget.
That's a very good question, because there are so many good memories of being the chief. It's hard for me to just pick one, maybe one example, but I tell you maybe just a funny story. Sure. When I became chief, obviously everybody knows that my cell phone number, it's out there, it's on my business card. Anybody can call me. But at the same time, I also told the public, I said, hey, being Italian, I drink espresso. So I have an espresso machine in my office. Anytime any of you want to come by and have espresso with the chief, just stop by. So at the beginning, I know people were kind of looking at me like, is this guy crazy? How did we make him the chief? But then one day, actually, the front desk called me and said, Chief, there is a couple here, and I won't share the names, but there is a couple here that they said they heard about your offer about having coffee, and they wanted to come up and have coffee with you. And I said, please send them up. Because I told my staff, if anybody does that, stop everything I'm doing, cancel any meeting, they'll come first, because that's my community. So they did. They came up, we had coffee for about 20 minutes, chit-chat about different things that were going on in the community, things that they had problems with. And that was absolutely a fantastic moment, because I said, hey, people get what I'm trying to do. Right. So that brought me so much closer to my community. And it was, again, it's not something that's earth-shattering, but for me, it was a very proud moment, because it gave me the confirmation that people were listening. Yeah. So.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Just as I said before, as I depart, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the community, to my department, to my professional staff, to everybody that helped me get where I'm at. I have had some great mentors, and now I'm going to carry all the knowledge with me to another department, and I hope that I'm worthy of serving that community, just like I feel like I've done here in Salinas. So I'm definitely not going to be a stranger. I'm still going to be around Salinas. I still teach at Hartnell College as an adjunct instructor, so I'm still part of this community, just in a different role. So it's been a fantastic experience for me. I've been here 6 years, and I will take it with me for the rest of my life as just a highlight of my career. It's just been fantastic.